I mean to start this on a somber note. Hang on, I'm gonna switch this. Shoot. Goodness. Let's just skip this one. Okay. His time mark's a little off. Okay. Whoops. Hi everyone, it's Fumo. Sorry, kind of poking around with the music. Turn it down just a little bit. I got a blast in my ear right now and I can't get the sound balance to work out well. Might just turn it off. There's really no like in between on this shit, which really sucks. Anyway, hi everyone, it's Fumu, as I mess around with all of my janky setup stuff. So today we were going to be talking about how Crystal Cup went, and I am right now pull up my deck that I ran. Is this updated? This is not updated deck. I've changed. I had that in there. I'm mad at myself. Sorry. I'm sure this is so exciting to see me talk about it. So anyway, Crystal Cup happened this past weekend. It didn't go as well as I was hoping. I went down on Friday night. Music's gonna bug me. I went down on Friday night and played in the warm-up bracket. That I wasn't, because I couldn't really decide what deck I wanted to play, and I had a real tough time figuring that out. So I was in between my mono earth deck, my mono water deck, or my mono fire deck, and I decided, because I hadn't played my fire deck in quite some time, I decided what would work best was for me to play the fire deck at the warm-up bracket, see how it goes, and see if that helps me determine kind of what deck I want to run. So the warm-up tournament, I think, went pretty well, all things considered. I went 3-3. It was a 6-round Swiss, no top cuts. And my losses were to Dataluma Cactar decks, 2 of them, and then a Category 7 deck. And other than that, my other wins, they were pretty fun. It was something that people didn't expect to see, and kind of slapped down mono fire, and they're like, oh, okay. And then, just kind of put the pressure on. The deck works pretty well, but it's just some matchups are definitely polarizing to the point where the deck just can't do anything, and that's what kind of happened in the Category 7 deck, and the Category, the Category 7 and the Dataluma Cactar decks, but Dataluma Cactar unfortunately just swamps everything these days. I was like, okay, Mono Fire went pretty well on Friday. Let's play it on. Let's play it for tomorrow. Let's just try it, see how it goes. Well, unfortunately, that was a mistake. That was a very, very bad idea. Come tomorrow, Saturday, for the event, get there, decide, okay, I decided I'm playing Mono Fire, whatever. Get into the brackets, which, by the way, there were 7 rounds of Swiss. We had 128 people. And my first matchup is against Earth Ice Flan, which is a deck that won the past 2 Crystal Cups. Luckily, it didn't win this one, but I had no practice against it. Ice is a terrible matchup for Fire, just from the sheer lockdown, and that archetype is focused on discarding you, which, after the last year's Crystal Cup, got us absolutely no further than last year, because last year's Crystal Cup we were dealing with Opus 5 meta, which was Turbo Discard. Very, very difficult to run against. Some decks just simply cannot do anything against Turbo Discard, and I felt like we were in the same spot. We were now on a new version of Discard, which focused on Sephiroth and Flan discarding. And then, you know, the Earth Element Splash was for the other Flan or Shantoto access. So it was super annoying. I couldn't do anything against the deck, so I lost pretty quickly, and that was that. Go to round 2, I fight another Earth Ice Flan deck. And, you know, by this time I'm getting really annoyed, because it's just like, why am I getting the worst luck right now? Excuse me. Getting the worst luck right now to fight these decks that, you know, I never practiced against, and just found out I can't do shit against them. So, I was getting pretty annoyed by that. And then, see, I think my next match after that was the first game I won. I might be able to double check that. Let me go back to, because I was giving updates every single round. Let's see. Okay, no. So round 3 was Category 7, and Category 7 has been doing a lot better as far as the meta goes, just because the new Barret really helps it on consistency. The new Tifa is really good with Brave and Haste in the proper setup. And then the new 5-drop Cloud is just such a... I don't know, it's an annoyance to deal with. Basically, if it wasn't the removal options dealing... or just kind of annoying the crap out of my deck, it was the fact that I couldn't do anything to their board. And I couldn't keep Heian on the field long enough to really do anything. So by round 3, I'm really pissed. It's lunch break, and you know, it's like Mono Fire was a mistake. I definitely shouldn't have ran this. If I had ran my Mono Earth, I might have done a bit better, because then I have options in Earth that help against Dull and Freeze, like the Ice is doing. Don't know about the 7 matchup, but so I was pretty disappointed, mainly because I made such a bad choice and really kind of kicked myself for it, and I still am. So we get back round 4, or no, did I? Round 3? Oh, that's right, I mistyped. So I put round 3 twice. So round 4 starts, and I think this is when yeah, okay, so round 4 was my first win for the day, and it was mainly because I was fighting up against someone who was trying to do some weird mono win Sid high win deck that focused on milling, and I just kept getting my answers to deal with his stuff. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. I think I misplayed during that match, though, because there's the new Aerith legendary that has the Minwu effect, where if you deal damage to that forward, that's less than its power, it doesn't take any damage at all. And I smacked a Frit into it, pulled an Ifrit, and then casted it, thinking that I would be killing it. But then he's like, well, no, I don't take any damage at all. I was like, oh. And of course, it was tournament, so I misplayed and couldn't take it back. So I had to deal with that, and I was gonna be really, really disappointed with myself if I lost because of that mistake. But luckily, that was not the case. So I ended up winning that one, and I forget what the score was, but I got him to 6 damage pretty quickly, and I was like, listen, if I lose this thing, I'm gonna be really mad. So luckily, I did finish that one, and that was my one win. Now, the round 5, we ended up actually getting kind of a very funny pairing. 4 out of our group, including myself, we all got paired up against each other. So I got paired up against Ramon, or Momo in our scene, and Silas got paired up against Chris. So it was basically like, it's like one of our locals. Like, it was whatever. So, hang on, did my music stop? Nope, there it goes. Okay. So I had to fight Momo, and Momo was using a Earth Water Fusoya deck, basically, is what it was. He wasn't really expecting to win with it. He wasn't really expecting to do well with it. He was just there to kind of have some fun. But of course, we were all doing poorly as far as our scores. And at the time, all 4 of us were at 1 and 3, so it was kind of rough. But we're playing it out, and I definitely was going to lose this game. Absolutely was going to lose this game. Momo felt bad, and he actually just gave me the win. So I should not have won that, and I should not have had a 2-5 score. I should have had a 1 and 6. Or it could have potentially been a 2 and 5, depending on how the seeding happened after that match. But yeah, so after that, it was pretty rough, because I kind of felt bad because Momo was like, well, I don't like seeing my boy down, and I just was not having a good time. So he ended up giving me the win, tried to help boost me up. Unfortunately, it didn't really do much, because round 6, I had to fight another Earth Ice Flan deck. And I was like, well, luckily this one, the player didn't pilot it the greatest, but he had the mechanics and all the cards for the deck. He just didn't pilot it in the same way that it should have been ran, I guess. He wasn't using Sephiroth, he was actually discarding it for CP, and I don't think I saw the Flans at all, but he told me it was an Earth Ice Flan deck. So after the match and everything, and it felt bad because I had actually fought this guy during the warm-up tournament, and he was actually using a Moogle deck that focused on an infinite mill combo. Of course, he never got it off. When I ran into him, I was like, oh, this is going to be pretty easy. If he's using that same deck, we got this in the bag. And of course, he lays down like Earth and Ice cards, and it's like, he's not playing the same deck. So that was kind of rough. And afterwards, he's like, yeah, I kind of felt bad because you mentioned you fought 2 Earth Ice Flan decks, and here I am playing Earth Ice Flan. It's like, but he played it differently, where he had like the 5-drop Delita in it. Dataluma also never saw the field. It was just strange. He piloted it completely different, and I just was kind of pulling into crap. So it was not a good day of cards for me. And we did a friendly afterwards, and there was a good play to I think I ended up winning the friendly afterwards, and there was a good play where I decided to just basically take the break. So 5-drop Delita basically says if you target it with an ability, that character that targeted it will break immediately. The effect will still go through, but the character will break. And then if you try to target Delita with a summon, your opponent takes a point of damage. So basically, make sure you're killing this thing or dealing with it somehow. So I had a Yuri on the field and then something else. I can't remember what it was. It was probably Heian. And just simply could not do anything against this Delita. Excuse me. So I was like, alright, I've got 5-drop Vaughn in my hand. I need to deal with this Delita long enough to be able to get in there and get damage in and try to close this out. So I dull freezed with Yuri, and, you know, it dull froze Delita. Yuri broke, but that gave me the option to play my Vaughn. Yeah, I don't know. The friendly isn't important, but that was just a decent play that kind of occurred. So the final round was, you know, we're near the bottom of the barrel as far as ranks and everything, so score's kind of bad. And it was another Category 7 deck, which I immediately knew I'm going to lose this thing. My deck just can't handle the Category 7 for some reason. So I, of course, lost. And afterwards, when we did the friendly, we ended up playing different decks, and I, of course, lost that one too. Mainly due to mill out, but I was also playing my mono water deck because I was like, I'm tired of this fire deck right now. But yeah, so overall, I went 2-5. It probably should have been a 1-6 because Momo should not have given me that win. But I was very, very frustrated with the meta and the fact that Fire just simply does not have the answers to deal with certain things. Like, Fire doesn't have a backup breaker. Fire doesn't have any ways to counter Earth Ice. Or mainly just Ice. Dull and Freeze is very, very hampering to that element. And there's just so many things that hamper Fire specifically that it doesn't really have answers for. So it's just very, very difficult. One of the other things that I'm kind of finding that I don't like in Fire is you get first strike on offense, not on defense. So it's difficult to keep your board state when Heian can swing in at 10k, but then at 9k, if they have a 9k on the board and they just simply decided to take damage instead of the board control, then what? I'm still taking the damage because I'm trying to save my dude. Or it's like against the 5-drop Cloud, if I block this, I'm going to lose my Heian. He's going to remove from game 10, and then I'm going to lose my other forward too because here comes crashing in this new Cloud, and guess what? There's another 9k on the field again. So it's just difficult. So I was quite frustrated, and definitely should have played a different deck. Which sucks to say because I really want to play Fire. Fire is such a fun element as far as mechanics go. I just don't know if I was playing the right cards, and I just certainly was not getting very good matchups last weekend. So I was not happy with that. So let me scoot over to my deck real quick though. Let me see here. So this was the deck that I ended up running. I'm actually missing one card, and I forget what it was. So we had Vaughn in there for sure, and then, gosh, I don't remember what I put into 3. I'm missing one card in this. I couldn't tell you what it is, to be honest. I could pull out my deck and kind of look into it. But yeah, so overall, this is the 11th Samurai deck, which is actually based off of a deck that, or a deck idea that I did not come up with. I got the deck idea from Josepher, who he called his build Ayaya Strike, or Ai Strike, or I forget what it is, or how to pronounce it. And it focuses on this idea of Samurais with the Heian package from the starter deck, and then the Category 11 build, which mainly focuses on Volker. Volker basically just says, you know, if Volker or a Category 11 forward comes in, you choose a forward and it can't block. So there's some Samurais that are Category 11, like Aroha. And then she was also new this set, and then there was also another Category 11 that was very, very important for Fire this set. Oh, it was Amaranth. That's the spicy one. Okay. There's another very, very important forward, and that's Archangel HM, because when this guy does damage, he does 2 damage instead of 1 to your opponent. So that's really good when you can get him in, and especially because Volker kind of opens up the field for him a little bit by saying this dude can't block. So you force your opponent kind of board control because they don't want to take 2 damage. So there were numerous instances where I was able to kind of get a forward off my opponent's board or keep a forward off my opponent's board because Archangel's smacking in at a 9k. Now, granted, the defense at 6 or 7 is what kind of got him killed a lot, just because he was super easy to deal with on defense. But on offense, my opponent couldn't handle it. So overall, I will talk about things that I didn't like on the deck. Just kind of get those out of the way, and then maybe some changes that I would make. So I did not care for Yuri's performance. Yuri is a fantastic card. Everyone knows it. It's great for mono decks, and it just wasn't performing very well. So it was just difficult to deal with. Sorry, I realized I don't have my eyes on stream chat, just in case any of you try and talk to me. So yeah, Yuri just did not perform the greatest, and especially with some games, I never had a back row. So Yuri relies on your back row to even do any of his effects, so when you smack him down without the backup row, it's just like, say, hey, deal with this before I get my back row started, and then they do. So it wasn't the greatest thing in the world, and honestly, it probably could have been a different card. The second one that I wasn't really caring for was Amaranth. I had put him in there because right now he is Fire's only option to break a 3-drop monster. The only other monster tech in Fire, I believe, is Zell, who only breaks a 2 or less. So I wasn't going to be able to hit some important monsters that I might have needed to take care of. So if I... Oops. Yeah, so we don't have any monster breaking effects outside of Amaranth and Zell. These other guys just get big if they have a monster. So like this guy he becomes a 10k for Strike and Brave, which would be nice against the Earth Ice lands, except for he can still get dulled. So it doesn't really do anything for you as far as the first Strike and Brave if you dudes dull. So kind of difficult to work around that. Frit doesn't do anything as far as monster breaking. He just counts as a monster. That's why he's shown up, and then Rain Search as a monster. So those aren't important. So yeah, really Fire's only option are literally Zell, which wouldn't have been bad, except for it just couldn't hit some important 3-drop monsters that were kind of showing up. So like some of the ones I was worried about was like Scale Toad, who is a discard mechanic, so it would just constantly discard me. I didn't see it this weekend. I don't know if maybe just opponents discarded it or you know, what have you. I think I maybe saw it once, but it was discarded. So we just never saw it online. And the main one that I was worried about was Death Gaze. This guy here, where, you know, as long as he's on the field, a forward is just straight up removed from game. So that's why I teched in the Amaranth, thinking I was going to see that a bit more often. I also expect to fight up against Earth-Wind decks a lot more than I did. I didn't even see any during the actual bracket. So, yeah, Amaranth unfortunately was just kind of a wet noodle. And I think there was one point in time where I actually had a hard cast Amaranth, which just felt super bad, because the cost for Amaranth is god-awful for his effect, and it's way overpriced. So, yeah, I was not happy with Amaranth's performance. So I think ultimately, if it comes down to it, you know, these guys will definitely come out, and those will probably end up being something else. So, other cards that I did not care for performance-wise was Meath. It was surprising to hear this too, because Meath is actually seen as a staple for Fire. And there was some good plays for Meath, where like I was able to play Meath, discard a Yuri, find a Volker, and that Volker won me the match. I think that came up during a friendly or something, or it came up on Friday. I can't remember. So I don't think it's appropriate to cut him just yet, though, because or her. I don't know. Meath will probably stay in for the moment, just because it gives me options to pitch, like, say, a Marsh to find a Volker or Heian. It gives me options to pitch, like, a Rain to find a Roha or Ayame or Archangel. So there's a lot of tech to be able to still find what I need. So I don't think it's appropriate to cut Meath just yet. So Meath will stay. And these other things, like, most of them I want to see them down, except for, like, Saz and Red Mage. After they do their effect, they're just there for CP. So bringing in something like, say, Lulu wouldn't be a terrible idea, because then that's additional ping damage, especially for a 7k shot. I just don't know if I'm putting that in just yet. So everything else, I think, performed very well. A lot of my mistake is I went for searches and whiffed the searches because I was out. Like, I've already pitched all my Heians, I pitched all my Fritz, I pitched all my Ifrits. So there were times where I hit the EX burst and then failed the search and was running out of options in my deck, and I was like, oh, shoot. So some changes that could definitely come in, because obviously we only cut 2 cards. It's going to be pretty tight. I would say at this point in time, what I would like to do is, I really liked Vaughn's performance. Vaughn was a fantastic card for this deck, because mainly of the draw power. The draw power helped so much in the decks that I was able to get Vaughn's attacks off. So as soon as he starts getting rolling, it's fantastic for this deck. The theme is nice because I can make someone not block, which fits in with the theme of what Volker is doing. And that draw power is just super important. Those are mainly the 2 elements, or the 2 effects that I ended up using. If I didn't need to prevent a forward from blocking, say like my opponent's board was open, I just went for the 2k pump on Vaughn, just in case they hit some really important EX burst. That way I was at a 10k and able to survive some sort of, like, say, an EX burst Ramu, or say like a, I don't know, a Valpor play that they were like, oh, well, I can get up to 9k real quick. You know, something like that. But the draw power alone was fantastic for this deck, and I really, really liked Vaughn's performance in here. Yuri does have the same option for it, but Yuri relies on backups, and with sometimes Fire's playstyle, you just don't get backups. Or it's difficult to start getting those and benefit from the attack and then tap 3. It's just not how Fire plays. So Vaughn worked out very, very well. So I think one of the things I talked with numerous people about is actually increasing Vaughn to 2. I really, really like how he did, so we're going to try that. The other card that I think I want to try out in here is one of my favorite boss cards for Fire. Whoops. And that is Vermilion Bird Lasizu Yu. I really, really like this guy, mainly because when he gets to attack, it's very, very likely that he will be doing 1 point of damage to your opponent. Unless your opponent has some sort of counterplay to reduce his power or something. But when this guy starts swinging, he's got first strike, and every single forward that he takes out, he gets to reactivate and attack again. So it's just really, really powerful. And, you know, for that, you know, you pay the 5, and then you tap another backup and you give it haste. That's really good, because you can just immediately start putting on the pressure. And especially against situations where, like, this cloud was on the field, it would allow me to deal the damage, get rid of the cloud, reactivate Zhu Yu. Yeah, the cloud comes back in and it does damage, but if Zhu Yu's my only dude, that cloud isn't going to, it's not going to take out Zhu Yu, because it can't do enough damage to do that unless it's at 6 points. So it's a nice counterplay to this Cloud that proved to be a huge problem for this deck. So I think Zuyu will do very, very well. And I don't care for Clouds removed from Game 10. So the other option I was considering is I always looked at this Garland as an anti-ice because his special ability, Round Edge. It doesn't require Garland to dull for the effect, so it was kind of nice because when I was dull and frozen, if I pulled into the right cards, I would be able to do a Round Edge. Pick forward, break it, and do 5,000 damage to all the forwards that my opponent controls, which could take out some stuff. The problem that I had with this is Round Edge requires more than 4 CP in total, so it made it difficult to be able to pull into a hand and then actually be able to pull it off because Ice discards you frequently. So I think Zuyu will go in for the moment. One of the other things that I also struggled against in the water matchup was the moment a Viking and Layla combo went down. I don't have the spread damage in this deck that I used to in my previous Mono Fire Haste aggro build, where, you know, it used like Royal Ripeness, it used Magus, it used Ranger, stuff like that, to be able to kind of just clear those guys off the field so they can't chump block with them, or, you know, what have you. So Royal Ripeness could see its way back into the deck, or like, say, Magus, because then you're doing the spread damage and building a backup. We'll have to kind of poke around and see what works best, because the backup row is pretty tight outside of Neath. Everything has its purpose in the deck, so I don't want to really mess with that too much. Black Mage really wasn't used a whole lot for his effect, but having the threat to be able to pull in a Belias, I think is still worth it to still run him in there. And the Opus 4 Ifrit was in there mainly as a CP generator. If I needed something to pull off a play, I was trying to fish this guy out, because it was hard to qualify for his effect of the 5 or more fire characters, so I didn't really aim for it. So I think that would be the changes that I poke around with in this deck, and we'll have to see how that goes. You know, we're still sitting at a good 18 EX burst, which really kind of helped. You know, being able to hit a Rain, pulling into a Frit was awesome. You know, hitting into a Marsh to look at the top 5 and pick a dude that I needed was awesome. The only thing that kind of sucked is if Genesis was doing the damage, because there was a situation where I hit, I think, a Rain on damage. I didn't have any cards in hand, and so when he swung in with Genesis and hit that Rain, there was no point to take the EX first, because I'd search the Frit, and then, excuse me, I'd have to discard it. So, yeah, and we're not trying to go all in on the EX burst, otherwise we'd be running different cards here. So, yeah, I don't think it's time to retire the deck by any means, but it definitely needed some work, because things just weren't working as well as I was hoping, and it needs some tinkering. So, yeah. So ultimately, I do feel like I should have maybe played my Mono Earth deck. Is it going to log me out? Yeah, it logged me out. Hang on. I definitely should have played my Mono Earth deck, which, you know, had access to the Rydias. I don't think Kamari would have seen much use this weekend, mainly because the only special ability that I probably would have been able to copy would have been Sephiroth. And I don't think that really hampers Ice all too much. It probably would have helped overall, but I end up paying more for that effect than what Sephiroth does, which is kind of freaking silly, personally. They get to discard 2 for 3 total CP. It's nutty. I really don't like discard in this game. I have some problems with it. But anyway, I definitely feel like I should have played this because I had access to Guy against the Ice matchup, and then also Black Mage was in there for the Ice matchup. Those 2 cards are really alone very, very important to have. Now, granted, in the discard setup, they would have just easily said all steamless stuff, but at least have ways to get things back, whether it's Luminous Puma, whether it's Miner, whether it's Amphilia. You know, I had a lot of ways to get these things back and onto the field should I need them, and especially even Tama, even though those cards would have been very, very difficult to actually use. Or even if it was something as easy as Undead Princess. So, but anyway, it's done. I don't know what I'll play for our upcoming local qualifier, but it probably won't be Fire. I am actually very disappointed with where my tap water build has gotten, because it's no longer my deck, which really, really sucks to say. I did end up taking the Zoos out, but I put in the card that I kept telling people I don't want to play this card, and I ended up putting it in. And just in case I ended up deciding running water, I was like, let's not make this difficult for myself. But I don't like this deck anymore. It's essentially got more things that the meta would run than what I want to run. So it's definitely lost its flavor for the deck, and I don't like that. I do run some things that people don't run. Obviously Paladin, obviously Theodore. Titus I don't think sees play, but it's all things that I really like to use. But it's just, it doesn't feel like it's my deck. I've lost that touch with it. I don't think I'll revisit this one until Opus 9, mainly because there's a spoiler that was revealed for a 4-drop Paladin backup that feels really, really good for standard units. So I will revisit this list come Opus 9, but I don't think I'll touch it until then. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I do need to kind of poke around with some other ones. Like, I would love to keep tinkering with the ice summons, mainly because it's something else, and it could do some fun. And I should have played this. This would have been so much fun. Oh well. Oh well. We'll see what I end up doing for local qualifier, which is coming up on the 27th of July. So I got about a month to figure it out. However, that is also past Opus 9 release. We'll be able to use Opus 9 for that. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's essentially it for Final Fantasy talk, I guess. I'm still working on my the set review. I haven't really gotten much farther as far as the graphics, but I'm kind of tinkering around a little bit with the kind of design on it, because the more I poke around with designs and stuff, the more that I am finding that it's not really working out for let me see. Okay, sorry, someone messaged me. I wanted to see if it was urgent. I keep poking around with designs on this, and I'm not completely sold on it. Let me actually pull those up. Switch back over here. So, like, I poked around with Irvine. Well, I don't think Irvine combos very well with anything, so I had to kind of change it to a goes in section as opposed to the potential combo cards. So it kind of worked out a little differently, and it's just basically saying, don't run this card. For the love of God, do not run this card. Just run the other Irvine if you really want to play Irvine. So it kind of got a little weird with it, and I ran into the same thing with Nail. There's really not like a combo card to go with Nail. Nail's ability just kind of focuses on 2 forwards, and then his secondary abilities to remove 2 backups from the game, or up to 2 backups for an effect, was really just kind of not the greatest thing in the world, because I would prefer those things to go to the break zone kind of thing. So I had to kind of alter how I was going about these. Oh, and I need to redo those anyway. Yeah, I'm still kind of tinkering around with the idea, but I think these are kind of pulling together. It's a little difficult to kind of do everything in order at the moment because we haven't had the full set release. So it's kind of difficult to really kind of focus on it. because there's no drive to do it out of order, although I definitely should, because it will cut down on work later on. The only other thing that kind of makes it difficult too is there's potential combo pieces within the new set. So I don't know if we'll get this immediately out as quickly as we were hoping, but we'll see what we can do. I definitely still want to try to do the oh god, I keep seeing myself and this is throwing me off. I definitely want to do the set review. I just don't know how quickly I will get it out after the set actually releases. That's the thing. So yeah, we'll see. Also, one of the other things that we got for participating in the Crystal Cup was Archangel. Archangel. I'm sorry, I saw Archangel at the top of my pack stack. The Bart's promo. The Bart's promo basically is the World Champ picked this card specifically to be the promo, and this is a really good Bart's if you run Wind. It's actually seen in the meta today. Basically, it says when he hits the field, it's not going to focus on that at all, is it? Nope. Okay. So when this guy hits the field, you reactivate all your Wind backups. And obviously he's a 5 CP, 9k, so you have 5 Wind backups. Well, then this guy's free. Free! So Mono Wind works very, very well with that Bart's. Yeah. Crystal Cup was fun. I just had a bad time and a bad run, but highly encourage people to travel for any game that you play competitively, or even casually. Like, I'm not like super competitive with Final Fantasy. I just travel because I want to support the events, and I want to see the community get bigger, and I want to see the card game do well. That's why I support the game. That's why I travel at least to Kansas City for it. I don't know if I'd really travel as far as to a different city that's not within driving distance, because if I do that, I'd prefer to do it for Pokken, because that's my main game. But yeah, definitely travel for games that you like to play, because it's fun, you'll have a good time. Try not to take your results so seriously unless you're really aiming for the top. And if you're really aiming for the top, then you're playing this competitively and you're playing certain styles. So, but yeah, so that's gonna be that for Final Fantasy stuff. I guess I'm really just in the mood to play Monster Hunter World, so we'll switch to that. Let me kind of change up my stuff here. Give me just a second. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to talk about. The Iceborne beta. Oh my god. Okay, so let me get here. Switching to Monster Hunter World. Tune in. Okay. Monster Hunter World solo casual hunts, mainly because I'm not looking to play with anyone right now. Alright, so we got that updated. Let me go ahead and put that up. So, okay, let me talk about the Iceborne beta. Unfortunately, I can't bring it up because the beta just ended yesterday. The Iceborne beta was so much fun. There was basically 3 fights that you could do. I was a little disappointed in the fact that like the very beginner one was just against a Great Jagras, but I understand why they did that because not everyone has been playing the game and stuff. But I really kind of wish they maybe put like a new monster in there, because there were 3 monsters on that map. There was Great Jagras, Rathalos, and Anjanath. And I was like, those are all folks that have been in, so I would have like just wished that they put a new monster in Ancient Forest, but I don't know who they would have put. Going into the new content, at least, it was super fun because it's oh my gosh, sorry, it's just like, it was so exciting. I loved every minute of it. You fought a Banbaru, which is the Antekadrome for the intermediate quest. And then also on the map was I think it's the Biototus, which is the Ice Piscine. So when I found out Biototus was on the map, it wasn't, what I was aiming to actually fight. It was really, really cool. I'm going to go and switch over to Monster Hunter World here. And I need to turn off my music. Give me just a second. Boop. There we go. So you fought Beatotus, who was a really fun ice Piscine. And I was getting used to that fight. That's definitely not going to be a difficult fight by any means. But really, really cool. Really, really flavorful for the area. Really enjoyed it. And I was actually able to fight both Beatotus and Bambaru, which I will call on Technodrome occasionally. I was able to fight both of them within the 20 minutes, which was really kind of fun to do. And I was really happy with myself that I was able to pull that off on my first run of it. It wasn't even like retrying it to see if I could pull it off. So that was really cool. The expert quest, or the third one, was against the Tigrex, and Tigrex is actually really, really fun. Obviously very similar to how he was in previous games. They gave him some new mechanics and new kind of methods for him to do his romping around, which was kind of difficult to work with, and I will forever and always fight that guy with a lance, because if I can't block, I'm screwed against T-Rex. It was very, very difficult otherwise. T-Rex was fun. I was kind of disappointed that the other monster on the map just ended up being a Bambaru. But it did interfere with the fights consistently, which was kind of annoying. But, you gotta give it some challenge. It just looks like I need high-rank Taziki, so I'm just going to try to do those while I'm talking here. With the new mechanics in the game, Heavy Bowgun, I didn't notice a whole lot of new stuff. I saw that they had a mod for Wyvern Heart and Wyvern Snipe, so I don't really know what that did. But in general, it looks like there are 4 mod slots on guns, and I don't know if one of those have to be Wyvern Snipe or Wyvern Heart. I also don't know if that allows you to interchange the options for any gun. So it's like if I want Wyvern Snipe on my Legaia Shattercryst, I might be able to run that. I don't know. Heavy Bowgun was still fun. Always is. I actually really, really liked Light Bowgun for this one, too. Light Bowgun had a mod that was put on for Wyvern Blast, where instead of, planting it down and it doing the blast when you need to, you actually just shot your Wyvern Blast and it went off kind of like a bomb. And I actually really, really enjoyed that and ended up using Wyvern Blast a lot more because of it. Because I shot it off, it actually allowed me to evade backwards, and then the explosion went off for really good damage. So I really, really liked Light Bowgun for Iceborne, and I might poke around with those a bit more. Let's see, hammers, I didn't notice anything new on, but I may have just missed what it was. The other, I think those were mainly the things I poke around with. Dual Sword, I don't recall seeing anything new. But yeah, all the weapons were just super fun regardless. The biggest thing I super enjoyed, was the Clutch Claw. The Clutch Claw mechanics are super, rewarding. They're so cool, too. I just really like how they decided to go ahead and, they decided to go ahead and make the Clutch Claw usage, super important for, part breaking. Basically, if, hi, Taziki, what you gonna do? No. Yeah, Clutch Claw, I already miss it, to be honest. because it allowed you to do more damage to a body part, which is insanely important for flinch locking, which I think flinch locking will be a thing come Iceborne. I don't know if Lance will really be the folks to do it, but because back in Monster Hunter 1 and even some current builds, okay, I can't cancel it. Flinch locking was Lance's job in Monster Hunter 1, so I think that might come up a bit more in Iceborne, just because of Clutch Claw doing more damage to the head. However, I saw a video of someone doing a Tigrex within like, it was like a minute and a half or something super crazy. And it was with like 3 great swords and a hunting horn. It was really interesting. Wow, I am done. There we go. It also makes me want to kind of poke around with Greatsword a little more, because I actually never did that in World, and it looks like obviously super big hits, and Clutch Claw does more damage on a body part that has it successfully wounded, so that's super cool. So yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy the beta, and I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I might try to go ahead and just stream a little bit of it if I find an opportunity. We do have our monthly this weekend, but I definitely want to get some folks together and play that a bit more with the beta. But I think it might be single player only this upcoming weekend. I don't know. That's the rumor that I keep hearing, because it's all PlayStation players, not just PlayStation Plus. So I don't really know what that entails. I just want to make sure we... Please, Basil, go away. But yeah, I'm actually really excited for Iceborne now. I really like those Clutch Claw mechanics. I'm excited to see what else kind of comes in. Fighting Tigrex was super fun. I'm excited for the subspecies Legiana. I want to see my boy Barioth, though. My boy Barioth better be making it back in. And then obviously seeing Blavinus and Nargacuga potentially come in. Well, I think Nargacuga was confirmed. I know Glavinus was. But yeah, it's just going to be super fun. Speaking of Glavinus, I have been playing still Generations Ultimate on the side. I am getting a little strung out on Light Bowgun in that game, which sucks because I've put in a lot of time on it. And I might just switch to dual swords on that, so I've got some backtracking to do for it. So, not quite sure what I'm doing just yet on that. But we'll see. I'm still poking around. I need to remake armor for Blade Master. I have Tetsukabra low rank, but I need something in high rank, even though I'm just running around in there we go. I'm just running around in low rank Rathalos armor in that game for my bowgun. Why'd you move? Heck. But yeah, so I was poking around with Brave style dual swords. And those are actually pretty fun. It was recommended by Gaijin Hunter because I was trying to find out what style was actually recommended. And, he recommended Aerial, which I was used to. Adept, which I can see why, because Adept's kind of broken. And then also Brave style. So I was poking around with Brave style a little bit while I was trying to make some new dual blades, and also some armor. And I don't know if I'm really big on the dual blades, Brave style at least. Um, so I might poke around with Adept, or I might just stick with Aerial. I'm not sure yet. So I don't know. Still have plenty of work to do, and I still don't have Switch Online, so I can't really progress very quickly. But one of the things that was kind of interesting was the fact that you only get Devil Dance when you're successfully have activated the Valor mode or Brave mode or whatever you like get the meter to full. It's just I couldn't fill the meter as quickly as Light Bowgun could, so that was kind of disappointing. So I don't know. We'll poke around with it. I just don't have any really too much of a drive to kind of play that. I might play some tonight just to try to get some progress on it, and that way I can play it in my bed. I'm not even familiar with what's kind of around this area. It's got herbs. Is there any mining spots back here? I see flashbug. I didn't even use any flashbugs though. There's fishies. I see the fishies. Wait, there's nowhere to go from here, is there? No, there isn't. Okay. Yeah. Generations Ultimate is still working. I'm debating on what like set to do too, because that requires just a little more coordination. Did I just get all? No, I need one more claw. It really hates giving me claws. Did I use a voucher? Whoops. Oh well. I don't use them enough anyway. Yeah, I'm still poking around with what like armor set to really do on Generations Ultimate. Debating about hang on, can I check for updates? I have Athena's armor set search. Oh wait, is there a Tiziki? There's not a Tiziki on the map. There's a Pink Raytheon, and I still need to finish the dailies, but I will not worry about that here. I'm just trying to get the... Oh, in case you're curious, it is faster to just stay in the camp if you plan on multi-hunting something. At least that's what I've found. We're gonna pop another voucher on this, try to get that damn claw. Tired of fighting these guys. Let's see, because yes, you see you're immediately ready to go, so it's kind of cool. But you just can't change your armor and stuff, so make sure to do that prior to going in. Athena has a new one for Monster Hunter World, but I don't know. I wonder if there's a web-based. A web-based armor set builder for Generations Ultimate. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate armor set builder. Looks like someone's been asking on it. Hang on, I need to restock my items. Someone's recommending Athena's. Oh, here's one. Oh, that's right. The database app that I have technically has a armor set builder. It's just not very like easy to work with, I guess, on mobile. That's why I just never really cared for it. Oh, that was one of the other things that was really cool in Iceborne. Mantles now can have decorations put into them. So those decorations are only active when you're wearing the mantle. But I thought that was like super cool because like the Rocksteady mantle that they gave you, they um, they put like 2 armor or attack up gems in it. So like you go like all in on the offense when you have the Rocksteady mantle. I thought that was like such a cool concept. And then like you could put the Gilly mantle, something with like the yeah. You know, I should maybe bring the Rocksteady mantle to these fights because Basil is butthole. Where you at? Oh, please go. No, Taziki, you butthole! Oh, no. Alright, well, he's dead. Oh, shit. I tried running. There we go. Yeah, so let me see... This site is about... Oh, okay. This looks, decent. It probably is very particular. It looks like it focuses more on, like, what armor skills you're looking for. Oh, gosh darn it. I messed up. You're not doing good here. There we go. Yeah, a little bit. Yep, we're just gonna sit here. Woo! Hey, we made it. Oh, I also have like negates. Thanks, kitty cat. Ah, come on. You do very well. That's right. What sucks is I can't flash pod these guys, because obviously they do the flash effect, so they're immune to stun. So can't really hold them steady. One of the other things that was really, really fun in Iceborne is all those like piercing pods and stuff that you can pick up. Because the clutch claw mechanics allow you to just wound apart via slinger ammo, you can actually... Damn it. What is Taziki doing? Are you going to flash pod? Boy, bye. Yeah, flash. But yeah, so like it allowed you to pick up those pierce pods and then just like immediately unload all of them on you know, whatever you're hunting. Which I thought was really cool because a lot of those seem to go to waste. And they don't seem to do as much as I would like. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I really like that a lot. The clutch claw mechanics are just a little too rewarding, I would say. But I think it's going to be really important that folks get used to how that all works. Just because it's really, really good mechanic. I should probably sharpen. Sharpen. So, come this beta, if people are not focusing on... What are you doing? Heck. Why'd you move? Oh, your butt. I think I will be able to get one claw. At least one claw. Yeah. From here we might focus on the weekly. Make sure I get those done. I swear to God, if I don't get the claw, I'm gonna be mad. What, you wanna go, Shamos? Let's go. Oh my gosh, but I miss Iceborne already, guys. It was so cool with all the new stuff. Oh, now it gives me 3 claws. Jerks. So let's poke around with this new armor set builder. So I am playing high rank released. I'm up to 8-star village, I think. Search, okay. So if I'm doing dual blades, expert is usually something that we want. So here, let me switch this over so you guys can see what I'm working with here. So this is the site that was given. So yeah, MXH Monster Hunter Double Cross .wiki -db.com/sim. I don't know. Anyway, I found it off of this. So we'll see. But so we have our attack up, which would be easy enough. But if I want, say, like critical I3, let's excuse me, let's is this giving me just... This is putting G rank right off the bat. Why is it doing that? Give me just a second, guys. I think my doggy wants to go outside because he's whining. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. So this is not working out the way that I would like it to. Mainly because it's just giving me straight up G rank stuff, and it's like, well, I'm not even in G rank yet. So hang on. Hierarch release gathering. That's the gathering hall, is it not? Oh, I see what it did. Okay, hang on. So I actually haven't even done anything with the guild, so I'm gonna put that there. Then search. There we go. This is still questionable. Hang on, let me try to put one of these together. Because isn't S the G rank stuff? I'm just going to my database app right now. Armor sets. No, wait, no, that's not what I want. Armor set builder. There we go. We're gonna go high rank starter. Oh, so S is high rank. Okay, so if I do, let's change this to, clear this one out that I have. Scimitar Helm S. Oh, because that gives like +6. No kidding. Nargacuga braces. Narga. And then Jaggy Shin Guards. Right off the bat. That's only given me 13. Is this like banking for... No, it doesn't say a charm. Oh, you decorate it. So if I put in expert. Wait, why did it want the Nargacuga braces? Oh, it does give expert, never mind. I'm just trying to understand what it's going for here. Expert. And then the Jaggy Shin Guard's also getting an expert gem. Holy crap. Well, that's cool. I can get Critical Eye +3 just off of 3 pieces and 3 gems. So what does it take for those decorations? Let's look here. Expert takes Aqua Glow and Sharp Fang. I'm certain we can make that. And Iron Gem. Nargacuga Cutwing Malfestia Wing Talon. And those are... Cutwings are low rank or high rank. Wing Talons are low rank or high rank. Interesting. Those are actually super easy to make. So in Critical Eye +3 is how much? Critical up? No, that's not it. Oh, there we go, expert. By 30%, so interesting. Okay, I will poke around with this later. It's just super interesting to me how that all works. Boo, boo, boo. Back over here. Okay. Um. Let's go upgrade those. Oh wait, I'm still gonna need more claws, aren't I? Oh no, why am I doing this to myself? Wait a second. I just need to address something real quick here. Okay. Let's upgrade some stuff. Let's get these guys upgraded to here. I've already got the basil started. Ah, I still need more freaking claws. Gross. 2 more. I need 7 more claws. Alright, I'm saving that for later. What do I need for this? Basil jam, of course. Legiana wing. Kubuya Kubik. Burn gems. Anjanath Fang Plus. Yeah, let's switch it up actually. Let's grab Karma. And then surprised Karma can actually fire thunder ammo. That's super weird. What is this providing again? Both these are providing things I don't need aside from the part breaker. I didn't realize I had the low rank Kieran. Well, let's request. See what we can find out here. Oh, I also do need to do the pink Raytheon ones. Let's actually focus on that. That's not what I want. I'm actually really close to these. I'm gonna do a few pink Raytheons, but probably what we'll end up doing is we'll just find an investigation for it. Wow. It's really screwed me over, huh? Guess that. Ooh. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. Oh well. Target... Grathia. Surprised I don't have more options here. Let's go with that one. Pretty sure she'll start maybe southwest. I'm actually curious. I'm gonna take my Odo Garen set. Yeah, we're gonna try the Odo Garen set and see how I like that. This is all out of order. There we go. Oh no, not sell. Set. We're gonna change these just to full on. Yeah, there we go. Want a seat in the camp? Yeah. Let me see. Alright, well there's Basil Goose on the map, so that's a terrible start. Got some fire herbs on here. Oh. Oh. Well, hello there. Expect to see you here. Bonk. Oh, that's right, I was gonna discuss. Ah, I was also gonna eat. I cannot use this right now. Oh, probably because I don't let it out. Whoops. Right, well, Basil's leaving. And as am I. We're just gonna run back to the camp and eat real fast because I'm an idiot. See ya. Pay with money. We'll just go for full max health and stamina. Boop. Bye, Basil. Nope. You're not doing this, Basil. Grab flash pots, have those ready. Nope, that's not gonna work. That one will. I guess I should have brought thunder shots, but I don't know how well this gun fires those. I'm also gonna be honest, I don't expect to get anybody for... Don't ever let Raytheons chill out in the air. Same with Rathalos. The moment you see them in the air... Whoop! You flash pod that. Because that is an opportunity for your damage. Oh dear. Oh, I don't have any flash modes on. That's kind of whack. Thought I did. Oh, I missed. I really like the mobility of Lightbow Gun now. I don't know what it is. Try to get this tail on. Anything rapid fire slice shot. Oh! Oh. No. Alright, that's fine. You're going to the south. I'm gonna go actually grab Flashbox. I thought I had those, but I guess not. I'm gonna put those away. Oh. Dang it. Why did I hit circle? Ah! Ew. Oh, I don't have to. Oh my god, this item loadout is awful. What am I doing? Please tell me someone has done pods, because I'm an idiot. Alright, he's good. I'll be able to actually get this tail off. Might have been able to do it in single player difficulty, but multiplayer. Where'd you go? Phew. Alright. What are you? You're Needleberry. Wait, did someone sneak it? Bruh, get the crap out of here. You're not capturing this shit. It's a pink Raytheon. They got smug look. I got plate, I suppose. I'm like aiming to get anything off these guys. I located 2 monsters. check up on this. My fertilizer.
Where else can you find deals like these?
Day. Perfect. Because I need to make catalyst, which I know takes, I think it's honey and bitterbug now, or still is. Let's switch one of these to bitterbug. And we'll go make some catalyst real quick, because I use those for dash juices, I use them for demon drugs. Like, you need a lot of them. We're just gonna make 150. Yeah, that'll we'll make about 20 of these. And then demon drug. Let's make 50 of those because I use those more often. 50 of those. Okay. Yeah, I guess let's keep going on the pink Raytheon. Get that out of the way. Maybe not be an idiot this time and actually bring dung bogs. We're not worried about slice shot. We'll try the thunder ammo though. See if that'll be worth the trouble. Oh, you know what? I didn't bring the dung pods and the flash bugs in this setup because they don't work on Lunistra, and that's what this armor or this item loadout's for. That makes a lot more sense now. Alright, first things first, we'll eat. Oops, sorry, wasn't watching. And then let's go ahead and just fire the SOS. Not that I need the SOS, but I'd like the hunt to go faster, and that's mainly it. I want the hunt to go faster. Hazel. Can you don't? What? She went north? Jerk. Thanks, Basil. Right. I almost get nicked by a kill. I went back to it. Whatever. It's fine. One of the other really cool things in Iceborne that I noticed in the beta is Vigor Wasp from your cat is super good now because you get a free revival occasionally. I don't know all the details on it, but like yeah, there's points in time where I died against like say Tigrex and had the Vigor Wasp equipped. No please. And he's just like, you're not going down to my watch, and then like you're covered in Vigor Wasp poop, and yeah, it just doesn't count for dying, and you recover a little bit of HP. Yeah, it was good. Girl, get down. Man, I messed up the Wilburn Blast so hard on that. Ooh, nice. Jesus. Ah. I don't think I was going to get flash pot off. Oh no. Oh. Thank you. Bruh. weapon away so I can flash pod. Dang it. It's not registering my flash pod usage fast enough, I guess? Or something? I don't know. She landing? No, she's not. Hey buddy, come on over. Oh, are they capturing it? God. Ah. Why? Why capture it? Just finish it off. Ah, that's so annoying. Alright, I got time for one more. I need to apparently let my doggy in because he is boofing at the back door. Thinking that I completely forgot about him. Okay, so give me just a second and I will be right back. Ah, I forgot to go back to headquarters. I'm not gonna worry about Thundershot. Ooh, but that exhaust shot was awesome. I really enjoyed that. Okay. Alright, so this will be last hunt.
We're on the hunt.
We'll just finish off the Pink Raytheon investigation for the weekly. And then I'll have to finish out the other 2 weekly missions. Probably on Thursday? Because it's just one more rank 9 and one more in the Ancient Forest, I think. So I might be able to find a like a tempered threat level 1 or level 2 and the Ancient Forest that can maybe fit the bill. Alright, so first things first, Fire SOS. Not because we have to, but because we want to. Next thing, Flash Pod. I'm not going to use that right off the bat. And then we're just going to get her attention. Get that earplugs going, dude. Actually, I haven't poked around with the spread shot rapid fire. It's kind of fun. Get closer, but you know. I could actually be really good with the, what is it, stun mantle or whatever it is. I haven't gotten that one yet. Alright, let's stop dinging around. Wait for friendos to get here. Let's get some just normal shot 3. Doing so well. She's actually using that move more often than she did in the previous 2 matches. Really strange. Look up, dude. Party Crasher. But I can't tell. Yeah, she is. should be okay. Oh, did I hit that? Oopsies. Ah, that worked out. Oh my god, I hate this guy already. I was reloading too fast now. Yep. Obnoxious. Oh. Okie dokie. Man, Basil. Get the fuck out of here. I didn't realize I moved over to level 1. Oh well. Nice. Alright, well, convenient timing too. And I used through a stack of normal level 2. I'm so happy. Oh, Karma's a fun gun. Sorry, they just found Etika. He unfortunately committed suicide. That's so sad to hear. The guy was struggling with a lot of mental health issues. That's really, really sad to hear. Really, really unfortunate. Don't mean to end it on such a somber note. That was just unfortunately something that was everyone was kind of curious what happened. Alright. Whoa. I don't need to do that just yet. We'll get this wrapped up. In regards to tomorrow, I usually play my time at Porsche, but honestly, it'll kind of depend on what I'm feeling. I do want to kind of keep trying to get progress in that game and everything. But I would also like to maybe focus on maybe focus on Generations Ultimate. So we'll see. Not sure just yet, but we'll figure out. As far as bounties, I need to do Fangvavern, excuse me, and that. So actually doing a high rank Ancientath. Tempered. We'll get that real quick, but I unfortunately don't have time for it today.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Alright, do some cleanup here. Yeah. So basically we don't do anything that has a bronze unless it's counterweighted by 2 golds. We don't do any captures, and normally I don't do any that have a max player count of 2, because then it's very limiting and I can't always use those with my friends. So yeah, a TS share with 2 people? Come on now. Why did I do this one? I don't know, that one's bad. Just gonna clean these out right now while I'm here. Oh, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that Hornitar one. Oh well. I can easily get the Hornitar ones back. Clean out a lot of these at this rate. What kind of sinks with investigations is you get them faster than you can clear through them. This must be where I did my last cleanup. Like I have 221 right now of things that would fit the conditions that I normally am looking for. And good golly, I would never be able to finish all of these before getting more. Which I suppose is great for the availability of things, but oh my gosh. I just have so many that I can't do anything with. So, oh well. Anyway, I think that'll be it for today. Tomorrow, like I said, we will either be doing my time at Porsche, or excuse me, or Generations Ultimate. We'll kind of see. I'm gonna try to play some tonight and see what I'm really feeling. Yeah. So, if you're in the area of Omaha and want to play Final Fantasy TCG, because that's totally what we started this stream for, Legendary Wolf Games is basically the only spot in town that is running Final Fantasy TCG. There's a few other stores that sell it, but they don't have any locals. Dragon's Lair used to have a group that was meeting, but last I checked in with that leader, they haven't been meeting up. So we're the only spot in town that's running it, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, Final Fantasy is really fun. You guys should try out the card game. It's pretty neat. Yeah, so that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna go ahead and close out and try to get some lunch and some other stuff done before I need to go to work. Oh, this week is the last week that I will be streaming in the mornings like this. My work schedule is shifting 2 hours due to our hours of operation changing at the call center that I'm working at. So I normally work at 1:30 to 10. It is getting bumped up 2 hours. So I will actually be working 11:30 to 8 o'clock, which means, one, I can't stream the normal hours that I was doing because I was doing 10 to noon. So obviously that's not going to work. And then that also means that I could stream at night so people could actually maybe watch. So that's kind of cool. I'm excited for it. Also, shift bids are coming up, so I might be able to actually get a day shift in a normal person schedule. I don't know. There's a lot of things I'm going to be able to start to do again because of just the hours of operation shift alone, which will be kind of nice. So I won't be so hidden anymore. I'm really excited for it. So, but anyway, that is all that I've got for today. So thank you so much for watching, tuning in, doing what you do. And we will be back at it again tomorrow with either my time or Generations Ultimate. We'll see what I'm feeling. So, yeah. So, all right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye.